As we're right on the cusp of training camp, I thought I would do one more review before it started and take a look at a player who's vying for a position but could really bring a lot to the table. What's up, it's your boy Cintron. Come back into another analysis video that keeps you not that's my real name. We might get into a little bit of news. No, we will at the end of the video, but you won't even be watching him by then at that point. Anyways, Sidney Brown will thrive in the Eagles defense. We'll look at his good points exclusively and then delve into what he does on film, man. You gotta like the kid, man. Fighting Illini, he did his time there. All right. He's a player that Philly fans will learn to love quickly due to his physical, heat-seeking nature. And the guy just brings it. You can see it here. And he's dead set on separating receiver from ball. All right, so Sidney Brown, he got drafted in the third round, early third round, beginning of it. We drafted Tyler Steen and him back-to-back. Old tackle, who will be a guard for us, most likely, and safety. 6'6" pick. Yeah, he had some good stats. He played 5 years for the Fighting Illini, Illinois, recorded 307 tackles, 2 sacks, defended 16 passes, forced 4 fumbles, and picked off 10 passes. Notably, 6 last year. He was voted to the All-American team, also first Big Ten, and multiple All-American teams. But yeah, I mean, the Illini, their secondary had 3 players drafted, most notably Devin Witherspoon and then Quan Martin going in the second round as well to the Washington Commanders, as well as their second corner, I think. And then other safety was an undrafted player, so I believe. But let's see here. Sidney Brown makes a lot of sense for what Desai values in a safety: great intelligence, a heat-seeking missile, playing the run from depth, and understands how to operate with leverage and coverage, which is crucial in defending between the numbers. I see why they made the pick. And yeah, he's going to be great around the line of scrimmage, but we might also play him, high, because he showed at the Senior Bowl that he can. He does qualify to play in that boundary. He has the skill set. He just wasn't asked to do it with the Illinois boys. He played around the line of scrimmage, was able to bully guys and destroy running backs, blitz on the ever so often, and he just brought the heat, man. He just plays at 120 miles per hour per play, and the guy just has heart, man. All right, Brown plays the type of reckless abandon that fans, especially in Philadelphia, will absolutely love, because we're, have been treated to great safeties over the years. The prototype being Brian Dawkins, man, just a beast. He is fast, strong, explosive, and is willing to take on bigger plays to make a tackle. So he doesn't shy away from contact at all. Brown can play all over the secondary, and while he might struggle to cover bigger receivers, tight ends, he's a smart player that is almost always in the right spot to make a play. So yeah, you see, and I'm not going to go into the clips. You can look at him on the next page we'll look at. But he's able to, he fights through the whole entire play until the whistle is blown. He's able to separate either with his hands or with a hit, or just using them in unison, making a hit, and then using his hands to knock the ball out from the receiver. And by the time they contact the ground, or he makes them contact the ground, one of the two, the ball has been dislodged out of there. So it's just great effort. Where other guys, they might clap their hands and give up on the play throughout the receiver going to the ground, the process of the catch. He fights through it tooth and nail, for every freaking inch, and does his best to separate them. So I mean, he was in the plays they showed, of course, he was successful in doing so. And he does have his warts. We'll get into those later. But man, he has great potential to be a really good safety for us. All right, yeah, he's a native of London, Ontario, Canada. Has a twin brother, Chase Brown, who also played at Illinois. He was a running back, and they grew up in destitute poverty, man. Just a great story that he had the heart, the drive, determination, discipline to move to America, make something of himself, not get disheartened, take on the challenges of living in a whole other country as a foreigner, and apply his way into a starting job, and just let his talents shown there, and just be proud of the guy, man. for what he accomplished, just making it to the NFL, fulfilling his dreams, but he's trying to go on and to enjoy success and at the top, at the highest level. All right. I really love seeing this. He played all over the field for Illinois. I don't know. I imagine he played some slot corner. I don't know if he put him on the outside, maybe a couple snaps here or there. But 6 INTs that we covered that in 2022. Third highest coverage grade among safeties in 2022, and this includes Jordan Battle, includes the Texas A&M safety. Johnson includes I forget the safety. They wanted him. He was like a hybrid slot guy at Alabama as well. This includes also, I forget the other safety. But yeah, I mean, like he was not lacking among his peers. Third highest run stop rate, 5.2%. So I mean, you can see in the clips. I'm not gonna play them like I said, but he really comes crashing down, screaming down from a safety position like I said, a heat-seeking missile. And man, he really impacts. He impacts the field as a pseudo linebacker, like similar to Terrell Edmonds. And can he displace him or Blankenship? I'm not saying that he can't, but he brings a lot of competitive spirit to the table. All right, so we'll get into the other article. Sidney Brown has the potential to be a fan favorite. I mean, yeah, but they're looking really at the film. So his strengths test extremely well at the combine. It looks like an explosive, quick athlete, and he does, verify that. His RAS score being 9.63, which is in like the top upper echelon. Yeah, he looks jacked. He looks like he lives in the gym. He's physically tough and competitive on the field. Plays with a nasty attitude, and I love that about him. I mean, he just really doesn't. He reminds you a bit has the attitude, has the run support of a Troy Polamalu, just coming down, like I said, to fill the box, and not letting guys get off scot-free without taking a big hit, feeling his presence in his territory. So he just destroyed the running back on a blitz, man. He just blew past him, and the quarterback got the ball off, but man, the running back he felt him. It wasn't Jamar Gibbs, but man, whoever that was, he got destroyed. But yeah, you make sure he's on the field. So run and chase player with fantastic range, burst, and sideline to sideline speed. He runs a 4.47, and it really shows up. He looks faster than everyone else on the field. I mean, that's a ode to his film study. He plays fast because he's certain of what he's seeing. He doesn't second guess. He just he goes in and makes plays. All right. Yeah, it looks a lot like Talanoa Hufanga. So that guy, he made a Pro Bowl, second team, might have been first team All Pro at safety for the 49ers. And he developed his first year, he got better, and he really exploded his second year in the league. And he's going to be a top player for looks like to be for some time to come. And he's very instinctive. I mean, just the guy just is all over the field. He reminds you of a poor man's Troy Polamalu. So back to Sidney Brown though. High energy, plays speed, always at max, can play top down or as a box player. So he has that versatility there that we were speaking of. Excellent angles. You see his burst that closes the blitzer, pursuit man, or closing attacking catch window. So, I mean, those are three different things. So excellent angles. So we saw last year what happened with the Christian Watson touchdown when Reed Blankenship took a poor angle. Credit to him. He learned from that, adjusted, and didn't see him get exposed like that on that similar play, or in even too many plays after that. But angles are very important, and he knows how to use them to his advantage to either filter the player, running back, or tight end or receiver running away from him, trying to get away from him, to his help in the coverage, in the scheme, or get down there to make tackle himself and force it. And he's pretty spot on. He doesn't whiff a lot of tackles, but he does. I mean, whiff a lot of tackles. I mean, like just kind of getting deked out and missing. But he does take himself out of plays. So we'll get into that later. But that could be the one thing that kind of impedes his progress or his ability to put a stranglehold in a starting position is his inexperience. And quarterbacks, of course, will look to take advantage of that in the NFL at the next level. But as a blitzer, because you're pretty sure. I mean, either one of the guys has the ball, the running back or the quarterback, and figuring out quickly, following the ball, and then closing, making that impact, using your speed, hitting full force. But of course, wrapping up, you gotta do that. As a pursuit man, yeah, he has excellent coverage skills. And you see from Senior Bowl, he acquitted himself very nicely on tight ends and wide receivers. So it shows that potential there. Even though he didn't do that with Illinois, to really adapt, learn, and assimilate that into his skill set, and become a better version of himself as a pro than he was as an amateur in the college ranks. Closing attacking catch windows. So like I said, dislodging, like knowing in the timing when to knock the player's hands down, or like when they shoot their hands, fight through the ball, or well-timed hits to separate, like I said, said player from the ball. 3,100 snaps is a lot. All right, excellent coming into the box from deep and filling gaps. He flies downhill as quickly as anyone you will see. Yeah, man, he's very decisive in this. He doesn't, mince bits. So that here the quarterback tries to feign a handoff to the running back. It's really a keeper, and he hankers down on that. Once he sees it's like a really quick split second. Once he sees the running back doesn't have the ball, he just grabs on, to the quarterback's leg and just really twirls and hurls him down. So excellent tackling there, and recognition skills, because a lot of guys might have got fooled, split second too late, and the running back is out the gate. All right, you see his coverage skills, plays with a tone settings. So you can see him here. He comes in and fills this gap here. Excellent, run support. Being the third or fourth linebacker in the scheme, coming in and filling that gap, because some DBs, these days aren't gonna come in, do the dirty work, but he's flying in aggressively to come in and take down that player, and if he doesn't do that, it could be at least a 5-yard gain, or he keeps it to a minimum in there. Like, very important part of the safety's job to come in and fill the run gap. So maybe he could be strong safety, but we play split safeties and they're kind of interchangeable. So it'll be interesting to see what role he plays on the field if he does get on in the immediate future. So physical and instinctive in man coverage, was really good against tight ends, and particularly he was very good against Sam Laporta, who's played at Iowa and is now a Detroit Lion. He wasn't asked to cover receivers much in college, but he showed some positive signs at Senior Bowl he could do this too. So he comes in here. Here he is. Laporta's trying to set him up. Excellent, distance, keeping him in his hip pocket. He does really great with trail technique. So maybe showing some former corner skills there, and tackles him, and then he just knocks the ball out as the ball arrives. So great coverage. 3rd and 16, he's aware of down and distance. That is great for a player to have awareness about what's going on in the surroundings and where the marker is. Right here, Illinois, Sidney Brown showing his speed, going step for step with Trey Tucker on the wheel route at the Senior Bowl. The safety from London, Ontario, has some serious athleticism. So yeah, he comes out, and I don't know how fast this guy is. I think he might be of Cincinnati. One of those talented guys that has some wheels, but man, he runs stride for stride with him, competes, knocks the ball out. He could have maybe had potentially an interception, but he kept the ball away from the receiver. I think he might have gone into the end zone. Just excellent coverage there, and using his spacing, using the sideline as a boundary to as the 12th defender. Well, here's the one-on-one session, but just excellent usage and knowledge of where he's on the field, and staying in the hip pocket of the receiver, not losing sight of him as well, because it can be easy to get lost in trail technique. Really good at playing the ball in the air in contested situations. So yeah, this play, yeah, I think it's again Sam Laporta or a receiver in this area. He's able to just run stride for stride with him in that short area. So this is inside. It's hard being an inside out player, because inside routes are kind of harder, can be harder to stop, depending on your position, as well as what position you are playing and where you're coming from. So he does a great job of I mean, knowing where knowing where his help is, knowing what his responsibilities are in the defense, and just bam, being able to shut that down. So, just great play. All right, Sidney Brown is an explosive box safety who puts his body in the line as a run defender and enforcer over the middle. Eagles to themselves. Eagles got themselves a fun tight end matchup player who showed throughout Senior Bowl what he can do in coverage. So yeah, here he's I think against a tight end, doesn't let him use his body, plays him tight as well. It's similar, very similar to the receiver that you saw up above the clip. He just puts himself. He's in great position, and great positioning allows you to make up for make up for some mistakes you might make, and he stays with it throughout the play and is able to knock the ball out, and it falls definitely to the ground. All right, real good production last year with 6 teams aggressive when the ball's in the air. So need a guy who's not afraid to go up there and get it. And this play, he runs. He runs with the guy. I don't know if this is the pick play, but it's one of the two. But anyways, just tight, very tight coverage. It's 1st and 10. Anything could be coming. He recognizes the pass play, read his keys. Reading the receiver, route recognition. That's a thing that the guys, if you can get really good at it, you can jump passes, and he does with one play. He baits him, and then he stays with him and stays close, and he's able to just scoop the interception and just beautiful pass coverage. He should be one of the best guys on special teams, so he's gonna be one of our gunners. Even if I don't think he'll win the job outright with 2 guys we have in there, Terrell Edmonds and Reed Blankenship. So he's gonna come in and be competitive, add special teams value, and make some special teams tackles for us. So he comes out in the field, even though he's a starter here, he just blows up the punt returner. Poor guy. All right, weaknesses is he essentially a small box safety only. Spent the majority of his time in the box and little time as a deep safety. I believe he can do that. I don't care if he's ever gets great at it, but like I said, with the corners that we have, he doesn't ever need to be great. Just really, just good, and play solid. So if he, one thing I am afraid about him, with him is if he just plays overly aggressive, because quarterbacks we know will take advantage of that. They just make you abuse your eyes, redirect you elsewhere, and then throw where they guided you from the open spot. So they'll lead you to the right, and you're right. If you say where you were, on the hash, they're gonna throw it to that spot. So eye discipline. Gonna have to learn the tricks of the trade. Sit in the film room, learn from his peers. Reed Blankenship is only a 2nd-year player. He has stuff to teach him because he's a smart, intelligent guy. Come from Middle Tennessee State, go Blue Raiders. And Terrell Edmonds, being the veteran of the group, he's seen a lot of battlefields. He's going to know what to tell the young guy and how to guide him in the process of getting knowledge and learning do's and don'ts of playing safety at this the highest level. All right, so likely a split safety only. So he's not saying it can be single high. So C.J. Gardner-Johnson was able to do both. He was able to cover receivers, tight ends, backs, how to come down the backfield, third, slot receivers, number 1 receivers as well on occasion. So he was versatility, had great versatility, do it all safety. He could bring the hit, like he did in a Super Bowl on Isaac Pacheco. But yeah, he could do a little bit of everything. Had 6 picks for us last year. So a great impact player in the run game and the pass game equally, and could play in the nickel package. So we're not looking for him to be that. That would be great if he could develop into some of those skills. I don't think he has as high of a ceiling, maybe. But that being said, guys often get better at the next level, and that's due to coaching. And we have great coaching in place. We talked about that in a video a couple days ago. And yeah, the same could be said, or could be had here at the next level if he has the right aptitude for it, shows aptitude for it. So, all right, his game was largely based around covering tight ends in college, but is he big enough to do that consistently at the next level at 5'10"? I think he is. C.J. Gardner-Johnson is not a huge guy, but he was able to use his explosiveness. And I think that one thing that goes in his favor, he has a 40.5-inch vertical, which is amazing. He runs a 4.47. He's an athleticism. He's a stocky build. He brings the heat. He's a heat-seeking missile. So as long as he doesn't take false steps, and he's from field study, he can diagnose and be certain of what he's seeing. Yeah, just let him loose, and he can be a chess piece in this offense. Being able to be an adept as a blitzer, bring run support, be a like I said, pseudo linebacker, be third or fourth linebacker for us, and be somewhere everywhere. If he can be even 20% of a peak Troy Polamalu, man, watch out. Flasher on the field, but it's very inconsistent as a tackler. Missed way too many tackles last year. He has a legitimate tackling issue. He hits hard, but he's a wrap up. I mean, that's something that they can address. Hey, technique. Work on your technique. Get on those the dummy drills, and they'll try and beat that out of him. Hopefully, that just flashy, just hits it. Madden 05 tackling. Yeah, it looks great, but we need to make sure that bring the guy down. Kind of like in the Texans game last year with one C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He went to tackle Dameon Pierce, the rookie out of Florida, and he hit stuck him, but he bounced off, and you just need to make sure you bring those guys down, wrap up. There's a way to avoid looking like an ass, looking dumb on tape, and you want to make sure you bring the guy down. So you can see here, like I didn't watch it, but I did watch it. Like he whiffs on some of these, and it's got to be better at the next level. Can't afford to be missing tackles and gifting the offenses easy first downs. But he can be a little tight hip in coverage, and like he won't be able to handle shiftier receivers. So maybe we can have our other safety handle that, or just rely on the scheme more so. Have brackets and stuff like that. But I think bracket coverage would actually suit him because he can control a zone like no other, I think, when he has the basics and fundamentals down. All right, so it's saying his ceiling, his floor, at the very least, a solid backup player, and of course special teamer. But he can be a very good starter. And I think, we don't know what his ceiling is. I think even very good, he could exceed that. So let's just say Quentin Michael, he had holes in his game. But I think he can exceed that, and he was a very solid safety. So I really want to see him be mentored at this level, and really given a chance to break out of that shell as a box safety, that casing that we want to put him in, and really showcase what he can do given his athleticism and given his ability. And the guy has tenacity. He made it out of poverty to the freaking highest level of the American football sports system. So. I'm not counting him out, but I'd love to see him make it to being a true single high safety. Don't know if he has that ceiling, but at the very least, I think he can be a very good, pretty solid to borderline, good to great split safety. So we'll see, but we'll get into one more thing today. Sorry, my nose is giving me problems. So I'll do two things. The Dallas Cowboys are now off in Oxnard. They begin their training camp journey. But one player that hasn't joined them, Zach Martin. He's potentially going to be holding out. And, I think they'll resolve it some kind of way. But, it just shows you, the soft underbelly there of the problems that Dallas is going to be struggling with coming up in the next couple seasons. They got to extend Dak because his contract is a monster coming up in 2024, and lower that cap number, which is a big problem for them. And they have so many players, a slew of players, some core team guys that they need to get lower cap numbers and re-sign their talent, because if they don't, they're going to be deficient over the next couple seasons, trying to bring in guys who are hit or miss when you already know you have a known commodity, but you don't want to overpay for that as well, which historically they've been shown to do. So, potentially big trouble there in Big D, but hey, it's not a big problem for me because I'm a Philly guy. And the last thing we'll get to here, the Giants actually re-signed Saquon Barkley to, oddly, a one-year deal, sweetened the pot for him, basically. He had a $10.07 million guaranteed contract with the franchise tag, but he gets a one-year deal in lieu of that for $11 million. So just strange, man. They could. I mean, it was already, of course, past the time, for him to ink a multi-year deal. That the deadline passed for that. So to get him back into the good graces and in the training camp, they signed him on a 1 year, $11 million deal. It just points to signs that, I mean, one, the running back market is crap, pure, unadulterated, unfiltered crap, and it's just trouble. The fact they had to sign him for that, they're not gonna most likely sign him next year. He's gonna go off to maybe greener pastures, pun intended. But yeah, it's not. For him to be your engine, you're giving him crap treatment. You're not, the engine light has been on, and you're not looking to take care of it all. But hey, again, NFC East problems. If it's not the Philly Eagles, they're great. All right, and the last thing we'll get to here today, Devonta Smith made it on the top 100 at 100. I believe he's going to operate a slot. He deserves to be most likely in the 70s, potentially 60s. If he has the season that we're thinking he's going to have, maybe 200 receiving yards plus, somewhere in the 80 to 90 catch range, as well as 10 plus TDs. He could have that, very well be in line for that type of year. We shall see. But man, I watched the video course, and saw him doing one of the best corners, rating of 94 in Madden, Jair Alexander. He's one of the top 10 corners in the league, and Devonta Smith turned him out. No, pause. He just had him like a fool, and shows he runs routes with the best of them, and he just deserves his name as a Slim Reaper. The route running maven who just exposes guys in coverage. And I'm glad to have him on my team, man. He had his best showing in the Super Bowl, in the playoffs, and I can't wait to see what he brings to the table this year. But anyways, let's get up out of here. This video has gone way too long. But it's all good because you're not even watching, though. But I do this because I love it. Of course, try to get big, but yeah, I love making these videos. Anyways, as always, it's Fly Eagles Fly, and let's motherfucking go! Like, comment, share, subscribe Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.